Hello people, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we are looking at CTRM, and I say tonight I am joining you at a slightly earlier time, but hey, I thought if I upload a bit earlier, perhaps we can get more videos out throughout the day. So there we go, CTRM is coming up in this one, because we've seen quite a lot of interest in motion for CTRM. We hit these highs all the way up here, we can see, just a few weeks ago, and since that time period we have seen continuous sell-off. This is continuing into today, but we can see that yesterday's candle was quite strong into the green side, so this could be a bit of an indication of CTRM picking itself back up. So if we look at this one on the 5-day charts, we can see that motion as the share price saw a big sell-off of around 24% before picking itself up by a further 15%. Again, not enough to bring us into the green, but it is still a step in the right direction. Well, in this video we're giving all of my personal opinions, so make sure to smash that like button and of course that subscription button if you have not already, which you should have done, because again we make videos like this on the stock market every single day. We literally make between 5 and 10 videos per day. What is not to love, guys? Just press that button, you will not be disappointed. But yes, let's quickly have a look at CTRM. So I know a lot of you guys want me to dive into the fundamentals of CTRM. We have done that before, so you can Google that video if you would like to. Obviously just type in N2S Finance CTRM stock, but we're just going to quickly go over these ones if you haven't seen that video. So, looking at our screens right now, we can see, what does Castor Maritime do? So Castor Maritime is a Cyprus-based shipping company that is focused on dry bulk vessels. The company currently owns a fleet of only 6 vessels, but the company is aggressively seeking to grow that total. And this is something which I really do want to stress. It comes up in this news article, which we're about to discuss in just a moment, but we're going to be talking about that in just a moment. So yeah, they are looking to expand, which is great, and back in February they announced 2 deals adding tanker capacity and doubling its fleet size. So amazing. We can see a lot of stuff going on for CTRM, and again this is reflecting in this news article from capital.com. Now we do also have this news article, but this really is the one that I do want to focus on because I think this is where the growth is going to be coming for CTRM. Now 6 vessels, that's impressive, don't get me wrong, it's a large amount, but here's the thing, with fleet expansion we could be seeing a lot more vessels, and obviously at the end of the day, more vessels, more potential cargo that we can carry, and obviously more revenue for the company, potentially even more profits. So realistically this fleet expansion, in my eyes at least, is a very, very good thing. I think subsequently we could be seeing some good growth for CTRM going forwards. Again, capital.com is saying here that we could be looking for another run up to $2. I think that's not impossible, guys. I think if we are going to see $2, I wouldn't expect it overnight. If we look back to the past 6 month charts again, we can see that this growth came from January up until like mid-February. So of course we did actually hit that $2 pop mark, going up 810% in just about a month and a half. And again, I would not expect to go that high. I think that we could get over $2 again, or at least around this $1.73 point, if not higher. But I don't think it's going to happen in such a quick time period. I think growth with companies like these, when we see growth in a more stable manner, when we see growth, a bit more steadily, it is actually a good thing. I think CTRM from a fundamental standpoint, in my opinion at least, isn't too bad. I think where they are right now is good, but again, expansion could really up their game going forwards, and I would love to see this happen, and it does look like it is actually going to happen. So share price, I would be holding this one for the next 1 to 2 years in my personal opinion. Again, if it is to rocket to $2, if not higher, in the next 12 months, perhaps I would consider taking profits. But I think where we are now with CTRM is not too bad. Looking at the actual price, it's a bit hard to say where this one is going. Again, that is because the general market has been moving in a very, very confusing manner in the past week or so. Again, if we're looking at a lot of the major stock indices, we can see they are following a similar pattern to the CTRM stock, and I think this is good. Again, if this stock is moving out of the general market trend, perhaps a bit worrying, but you know what, a lot of the market is seeing this sell-off. Again, Russell 2000 is an index which tracks 2,000 of the smallest cap companies, and of course this is really a good way to look at CTRM. Now CTRM stock worth only 80 cents, we can see this one is kind of the most relevant to this company. So again, following a very similar pattern this is to the CTRM stock, which is kind of good. The Nasdaq, however, the S&P 500 is following a slightly better pattern, but we're also seeing a similar trend of this big sell-off and then a bit of a pullback. Again, the S&P is pulling back a bit stronger, which is good, but obviously the S&P tracks a bit more stable companies, so that is worth noting. Dow Jones is following a very similar trend as well to the S&P. Again, this tracks 30 of the most stable and solid growth companies, so this one is bound to be a bit more stable, but this one is seeing a similar pattern. So what we can establish from this is that all three of these major stock market indexes are seeing a sell-off which reflects that of CTRM. I think CTRM has been selling off for a bit longer because it did hit those highs and people were taking profits. And let's face it, guys, why wouldn't you take profits, guys? If you'd have bought this one back at like 16 cents and held up until the highs, you'd have made an absolute fortune of around 1,000%. So you can imagine people who are owning, a few thousand shares of this are probably laughing when they took that profit. So I can see why this one sold off for some time. Again, unfortunate market conditions, in my opinion, push this one down a bit further. I think it is hard to say where this one is going in the next few days. So overall, I would say please be wary of CTRM, please be treacherous because we just don't know whether this one is going to go lower or not. I would say if you are looking to buy this one, perhaps use a dollar cost averaging strategy. I think that could allow us to get a much better price. I mean, yes, we may get more shares or less shares depending on if the price goes up or down, and we could potentially lose a bit of our profits by not going in sooner with a larger amount. But I think, you know what guys, the same does apply if the share price falls, right? Because people always say about dollar cost averaging, well, if the share price goes up overnight, for example, we are probably going to, buy more shares at a more expensive price. And this also reflects if the share price drops, and I think this is what people forget. So of course, I think that will allow us to get the most amount of shares at the best price. But again, I would be following CTRM stock at the moment just to see where it goes. I think it could be a solid investment, and I can see this one going past $2 in the next 12 months. So tell me what you think down below. Thank you for joining me for this video though. I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye.